Hello, everybody. How is everyone tonight? Oh, I can tell you, it's about 1,000 degrees here tonight. It's almost 8:20 or so here on the West Coast in southern Nevada. And let's see, right now the thermometer is saying that it is still 99 degrees outside. Yeah, I got the AC on full blast and it's still hot. I'm melting. Let me just say that. But hope you guys are staying cool in your neck of the woods. Um, this is an unusual and unannounced time for me to come on live, but there was there was some things that I needed to get caught up with. So I figure if I'm gonna sit here at my sewing machine, I might as well turn on the cameras and have people to chat with. Well, sort of, at least virtually. Okay, let's see who is here tonight. Hello, Miss Nancy. Guess who it is? Nancy. Living and Crafting with MS. Hello, hello. Hi, Kim. Linda Faust is here. Hi, Linda. And Icy Cindy. I wish I had an Icy right now. Hello, hello to you. Maria Nunez from Rialto, California. Hello, Maria. Mary Jane Ellinger's here. Hi, Mary Jane. Let's see. Suzanne Taylor. Hi, Suzanne. Michelle the Coulter. Hello from New York. It's 68 in South Dakota. I am so jealous of you right now. My goodness. I bet that's hot for you guys. Okay, so what am I up to tonight? Well, let's see. We'll switch cameras here. So I'm continuing on with the Tula Pink Butterfly Quilt pattern. For most of you already know that I've been working on this quilt pattern alongside with Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life, and she is way ahead of me. So I need to catch up to her. And so she's already doing parts of this, which is the diagram that has all the curve piecing. She's already pretty much got her blocks done, and I'm still doing the log cabin series, so I need to catch up to her. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I figure, again, I'm going to spend the time on a Friday night, late night sewing, so I might as well turn on the cameras and start chatting away. So yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. Also, I don't know if anybody else has this rotary cutter. Sorry, the glare. This is the Quilter Select rotary cutter. It is a 60 millimeter. There is a 45 millimeter as well, but it's a weighted rotary cutter, and I've had this for a while, and I never tried it out. So I figure I'd just try it out, see how it feels. It is a weighted rotary cutter, meaning the handle has, this is solid metal, and it's not plastic like other rotary cutters. So it's got some weight to it. The advantage, supposedly, when you use this rotary cutter, you don't have to press down as hard because, again, the weight of the rotary cutter can kind of help you with that. So I'm trying to see if that's really true or not. So also testing that out. Thus far, I kind of like it. Again, I've just been using it for like the past 5 minutes or so, but my hand feels very relaxed in there. The handle is a nice size handle, and I got big hands as it is, so it's got a nice handle, it's got a nice grip. It feels pretty good, and whoops. only thing I don't like about it is to expose the blade is a little tricky. Maybe I gotta get used to it. I know you're supposed to, oh, there it is. Okay. You're supposed to tap it and it's supposed to expose the blade, and you tap it back, supposedly, to cover up the blade. I gotta get used to that. I knew there was two. So there's this, there's that. So how is everyone tonight? What is everyone up to? Hey, Flicky Chicky. And Dolly is here. She's saying, nice to catch you here tonight. Well, nice that you could join me tonight. So living in crafting with MS says it's nice, but does nothing for the pain from MS. It gets up in the hundreds here sometimes. Wow. Okay, that's good to know. Not that I was using it, or not that I bought this thinking that it was going to be as comfortable as the Martelli that I normally use, but I figured just give it a try because I wanted to see what it's like to work with a weighted rotary cutter. And I still have got to get the hang of that. But it feels nice and durable. Okay, this can go with the scraps. Hi, Gloria Garris. Okay, this fabric has seen better days. Wait a second. Did I cut this wrong? I think I did. I should know this by now. Yeah, I did cut it wrong. Yep. Well, at least I cut it too big, not too small, so I can still trim it down. I was wondering, something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right. Yeah, that's gonna take some time to get used to. Okay, now I'm back on track, so. Okay, so what is everyone doing up on a Friday night so early? I know I am, well, this week has been one heck of a week. For me, Tuesday night, well, I went into work on Tuesday night. I didn't go home until Wednesday afternoon. That's how busy I was. Part of it is because of the fact that the bosses or the owners of the company that I'm with, they are in negotiations of purchasing a smaller competitor. So they needed me to come up with a fair price for this new company. So that's what I was doing Tuesday night into Wednesday afternoon. Call me crazy, yes. but they appreciated all the work that I did for them. So hopefully that'll pay off. Okay, it's supposed to be good to arthritis. Okay, so that's Suzanne Taylor. I hear that changing the blade is easier. It is much easier to change the blade on this because there's a mechanism on the back where I don't want to do it now and then have to solve it, but it's just basically you pull this lever, the blade comes right out, I think. Have to read the instructions. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Flicky Chicky says, it looks a lot like the Kai sticks. I like my little Kai. I shall try the Kai rotary cutter. You know, I always see Kai at the various quilting shows, but I never bought, I don't think I've ever bought a pair of scissors from them or any cutting tools. I know they're a very reputable company, meaning a lot of people like their products. I just never bought anything from them. But I always stop by the booth to say hello and then test out whatever new product they got going. Okay. Oh, I think that's how you're supposed to do it. Okay, this is the last piece I will cut. And okay, so what, again, for those people who are coming in, I am catching up with the butterfly quilt. This is the Tula Pink Butterfly Quilt. This is the second version, or the second edition, but from what we've heard, the second edition and the first edition, not much different. So I've been doing this project in conjunction or together with Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life. And every Saturday, for the past couple of Saturdays, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we've been doing a live session together. And if you all know Tiffany, you know, she's Miss Speedy Gonzalez when it comes to sewing. So she's already, well, I knew this going in, that she was going to be way ahead of me. And she already is, because she's ready. I think she's on the last set of blocks that you have to put together. So I have some major catching up to do. And that's what I was planning on doing tonight and tomorrow. So again, every Saturday we are on live on this YouTube channel starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So tomorrow is another live session with Tiffany. So if you're available, come and join us. And hopefully I worked out all the technical stuff. So you won't see me disappearing and reappearing and disappearing again. And that was frustrating to deal with. Okay. Just holding my recliner down. That's Kim Burris. And Susan Yearout is here. Hello, Susan. Mickey LeHue. Hello, Mickey. She's saying that she is at her aunt's house, and in the morning I go look at a house in Hamilton, Missouri, just blocks away from Missouri Star Quilt Company. Lucky you. I am jealous. That's a nice area to be, I will say. Of course, I've been to Hamilton, Missouri 2 times. Always a pleasure to be there. Whoa, wait, that is way off. First time I went was, I think, back in 2018, I believe. Then the second time that I went was in 2022, right when they first started opening up the shops after COVID. Hello, Miss Claudia Lautenschlager. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If not, I'm sorry. What is that guide on your sewing machine? This is the Riley Blake Seems So Easy. It is the guide that Lori Holt produced with them. It's basically a acrylic or some kind of plastic covering, and it's like the diagonal seam tape where you actually have the three lines here. So here's the 1/4 inch. Sorry, I know you can't see that in the camera so well, but there's a 1/4 inch, there's that center line, and then there's another 1/4 inch on the left side. So I prefer to have sewing guides like this that are flat, because sometimes I do use pins, and if I use like a seam guide that you know, it's stuck on the side, like those magnetic seam guides, yeah, the pins just tend to get in the way. So I like this one. I used to just use painter's tape and just stick that on there, but you know, the hassle of putting painter's tape every time you try and change the bobbin was not fun. Or if there's a thread break, you know, to have to, you know, to rethread the machine, take the tape off, put it back on, reset it. That was just not fun to do. So I'm glad I have this, because it's a lot easier to just set it up and reset it up all the time. So okay, work has been awful with heat stroke dogs in our heat wave. Oh gosh, I know the feeling, Flicky Chick. I definitely know the feeling of that. Yeah, this week in Southern Nevada, well, I'm in Las Vegas, but this week it's been horribly hot. And I just broke thread, speaking of. Here we go. Okay, real quick. Gosh darn it, I know there's a little hole there. Can't see it, but I know it's there. There it is. Found it. These little small things, if you don't have one, get one, because these have been lifesavers every time I need to thread my machine. Okay. So Suzanne Taylor says it's 10:30 here, so chillaxing. This is my version of chillaxing. I spend most of my days counting other people's money. So yeah, this is my version of chillaxing. Just sewing and chatting. Okay. And I totally sewed that on wrong, but you know what? From a distance, you're not going to be able to tell. Whoops. Wow. First time I ever had both cameras go out like that. Okay. Hi, Cynthia Kirk. And Cindy says it's 10:30 where I am, and I was just getting ready to go to bed, but got the notification, so decided not to go to bed yet. Well, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I was trying to go live earlier this week, but well, life just kind of got in the way. As I said, I stayed up all night at work from Tuesday into Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I just came back home, or when I got home again, you can imagine I was just exhausted, so I just went to bed. Then yesterday, I was feeling okay, but still kind of groggy, so got a good night's sleep last night, and now I'm here. So, again, just had every intention of doing a live this week, but just never had, well, like I said, life just got in the way. Sometimes it does that. Let's see. Susan, you're out says, sewed 7 blocks for the Tangled quilt today. Well, at least that's good. You got some productive work done. Kimber says, Tuesday I had to put a new battery in my car. I now have new wiper blades, a full set of new tires, and new battery. Hopefully ready for the winter. Okay. Maybe, actually, I need to check my car battery because it's, yeah, I'm just afraid that I'm going to be stuck somewhere. You know, whatever, don't cars, I mean, as far as I know, cars had or at least they used to have some kind of power or battery, or an indicator of how much power is left in the battery. But I notice a lot of the modern cars don't have that. And I wish they would. It's so that you're not surprised all of a sudden, hey, your car won't start and you're out in the middle of nowhere. I should buy one of those battery jump starter things. Because, you know, sometimes if I'm out in the desert, just kind of adventuring along, yeah, it would be a good thing for me to have one of those just in case. I do have jumper cables. I knew that, but of course, jumper cables are kind of useless when you're out there by yourself. Okay, one more seam. Okay. Are you still doing the Zoom? Yes, Kim, I am. So thank you for reminding me of that. So tomorrow is a bonus Zoom. We will be starting at our usual time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to join in on the Zoom, just send an email to treasureheartcreations@gmail.com. And I will give you the Zoom information. It's just basically us coming on Zoom, chatting, sewing, and just talking. It's a fun time. You know, you get to know people from different parts of the country, even different parts of the world. From time to time, we do have somebody from all the way from France that joins us. And most of the time, we're just on here sewing and just chatting, much like what I'm doing right now. But you know, at least you can talk directly to me and I can talk directly to you instead of doing it through the chat. So, okay, 2 more blocks done. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, the Zoom. So yes, tomorrow is a kind of a special bonus Zoom in which normally we just do this once a month, but because August is a very special month and actually tomorrow is a very special day for me, we're doing a bonus one. So yeah, if you want in on the regular Zoom, just send an email saying that you want to be part of the bonus or the regular one. So yeah. Just know that if you have been joining the Zooms, the regular monthly Zoom, it is a different meeting ID and password. So check your email for that because I did send out an invitation or that information yesterday. So yeah. Okay. And then I got that orange one. Now I need one with the pink. Okay. Yeah. And Flicky Chick says, OMG, I adore their scissors. She's talking about Kai. She has 7 or 8 pairs of regular scissors alone. Wow. Flicky Chick says, I got an oil change, new air filters and wiper blades, new brake pads, and rotary rotors, and new tires. Okay, so I guess we're all doing car repairs this month, huh? I drive too much in the mountains. My poor 18-month-old car needed new shoes already. What am I working on? I am working on the Tula Pink Butterfly Quilt. I need to catch up. So before tomorrow, hopefully I just want to get to the half square triangles. That's my goal, but we'll see how far we get tonight. Thank you for Pacific Time Live. It's nice to chat at night. Yes, it is, Flicky Chick. I know a lot of YouTubers on East Coast time, so figure it's an opportunity to just kind of come on and sew for those night owls and for us West Coasters. Yeah, I know it's still early for us, and there's nobody on live at this hour, at least not that I know of. So I figure, you know what? Maybe we'll make this a regular thing. Who knows? But don't quote me on that, because every time I say something like that and make promises, stuff happens. And yeah, life just gets in the way. And Jimmy Tony says it's 71 degrees in the middle of Missouri. Wow. I'm jealous of you. Sandy Adger, happy almost your birthday, Eric. Well, thank you, Sandy. I just got a few more hours to wait. Then it's the magic 49. That is why there is a special Zoom tomorrow. Nancy says Western Kentucky is 67 degrees. Okay, wow. Pretty chill. Hello, Miss Remo. That's Remo J. Hope everything is going good. How's Dad? Hope he's okay, not driving you crazy. Hi, Janice Miller. Okay, let's see. So Kim has activated the hot topic. This is something that I just kind of like to throw in from time to time, and it's just a point of discussion or question, that a random question that I'll put out in the chat, and for anyone that would like to answer. So tonight's chat is, what kinds of other crafts are you heavily involved in? Now, if I know quilters, they're not just quilters, they're crocheters, they're card makers, they're paper crafters, they're the jack of all trades, but the expert of none, just like yours truly here. So what other crafts are you involved with? Okay, let's work from the scraps. Aw, thank you guys. Everybody's saying happy birthday. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Remo. And Claudia says she's only involved with quilting. Okay, sticking to the original. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Kimber says her other crafts are crochet, hand embroidery, cross stitch, and hand quilting. By the way, Kim, I saw the picture of was it your grandmother's quilt? That's got to be something special to work on. No, was it your aunt or your grandmother? I know you said one of those. Suzanne Taylor says she also knits. Michelle the Quilter, oh, thank you. She's giving birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you. 49, yes, 50, around the clock. Don't remind me, Remo. Dad just got out of the hospital. Ooh, hope he's okay. Gloria Garris says it's 64 degrees where she is now. Remo J says she's just a seamstress. Okay. Cynthia Kirk says she's like crocheting. And Flicky Chick says I make leather dog leashes, collars for show. Okay. You know, a friend of mine used to do dog clothes. And I said, why don't you quilt? She said, no. She'd rather just stick to dog clothes. Yeah, but quilting is a lot more fun. She's like, no. I tried. Okay, what colors am I looking for here? So I got that one. I need this. So I'm going for that. And then a darker brown, brownish. No, maybe I'll use, no, I'll use this for the center. Do I have any more of this grunge? Center, that one. I think I'm out of, I might just have enough for that, that one. And then a pink. Use that. Do I have any more grunge? Please say I do. Do I have any more grunge? Haha. Yes, I do. Okay, all of this can go back. If you are doing this quilt, it's a good idea to keep the scraps because all of the cut sizes are very similar. And sometimes you only just need one piece. So look in your scrap pile or whatever else you cut in from there. Keep that because you might need it again. And I don't need the black for now. It belongs to my aunt, but grandmother started it in 1945. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, happy birthday. I also crochet, embroidery, And Diamond Dot Painting. That's Dolly. Well, thank you, Dolly. Happy birthday, Gwendolyn Jones says. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Not quite yet, but it's almost there. Got a couple hours. You know, I haven't been using this rotary cutter very long, but I do like the feel of it. I still have to get used to opening and closing it though. So that is that one. Nope, not big enough. So I will cut yet one more strip from here. Put that scrap in there. I don't think I'm going to be needing that size anymore because we're getting to the other blocks. So this will be, cut the selvage off. Then I can cut 2 of this size. And that's all I needed. Okay. That's gone. No. Almost cut the wrong size again. So that's this one. And do just enough. Wow. Talk about by the thread of the luck of the thread. Okay, my dogs wear bandanas at most, but I got tired of trying to find the lead I wanted, so I made my own instead, and it's white, kangaroo, and sparkly, and I giggle every time I use it. Okay. Crafters, please support, and thank you, Remo. She's reminding everybody about giving a thumbs up. I might be calling it close with this one too. No, definitely not enough to make one more. So I will, let's see, do I have this fabric? Is this long enough? No, that's not long enough. Do, 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 do. Huh. Well, what do you know? Am I out of the fabric? Am I really out of that fabric? I might be. Yep. Okay. I need to then find... Nope. Wait. Here it is. There we go. Okay. So I will kind of straighten out that edge. That was a better cut. Now I will cut the size that I need. Wait, I don't need that much. I just need 2 pieces. Sorry, I was listening to a little Celine Dion before I came on, so now I got that song stuck in my head. Okay, pink. Yep, that's it. Okay. Put the ruler away. Now we can sew. Okay, Gwendolyn Jones is asking what kind of rotary cutter I'm using. This is the Quilters Select. This is a 60 millimeter rotary cutter. They also do make a 45. It's a weighted rotary cutter, so there is some weight to this. Supposedly, it's supposed to make cutting through thicker fabric a lot easier, or if you got more layers of fabric, it's supposed to make it a lot easier, and you don't have to press down as hard. Of course, you can always just change your blade, but it's nice because there's some weight to it, and it's not made of plastic. I mean, this is metal right there. So I'm just trying it out. Normally, you do see me working with the Martelli. I like the Martelli because it feels, for me at least, it feels really comfortable in my hand. And I'm not putting so much strain on my hands or my wrist. This kind of has the same effect because, again, the weight of the rotary cutter. I mean, it's not like 10 pounds or anything, no. But, you know, it's got some weight to it so that, you know, it's not like these plastic rotary cutters where they're so lightweight and you have to press down really hard. Yeah, which is why I don't like this one anymore, but I still have it. So, haven't been using this for too long. I mean, I just kind of opened the package tonight, but thus far, I do like it. It's a good size. The handles, I mean, I got big hands, so the handles feels good in my hands. And when you cut with it, again, don't have to put too much pressure because of the weight of the rotary cutter itself. So thus far, so good. So far, so good. What is the throat space on my long arm? It is 18 inches. Is it 18? No, 15, I think. But right now I had to tear it back down because, sad to say, rent just went up $500 a month. So yeah, I might be moving again because That was a big increase. Let's see. Janice Miller says, I have sewn for years, but knitting and crocheting with my mom after she passed have been quitting quilting. Okay. And Remo J says, when you turn 50, buy yourself a house or a car. Sandy Adger says she loves using this rotary cutter. Okay. So far, I like it. It feels good in my hands, and I don't feel the strain of, cutting through fabric. Not like some of the other rotary cutters. Then again, it is a fresh blade too, so that does help. Me, I tend to work my rotary cutter blades until they're all bent out of shape. Then, and only then, will I change the blade. Which is not really good. I know. Do as I say, not as I do. Remo says she's loving the pink. Well, thank you, thank you. It's the Moxie. Yes, it is. Kimber says her rent is going up $220 a month. New owner, and he's an absentee owner, just jacking up the rent but doing nothing to upgrade. Yeah, sad to say that's happening all over the country. Did I just cut this at the wrong width? Why am I so far off? Oh, geez. Yep. That is totally the wrong width. Then this one must be off too. No, that one's right. Oh boy. Not sure what happened there. That's okay. We have a piece of scrap. And see, like I said, keep those scraps handy because you never know if you're going to use it, or you might need just one piece. That looks much, much better. Hey, Debbie Huey. Miss Prickly Pear, happy belated birthday. And Jimmy Tony says, my rent only went up $25 a month. Wow. I'm jealous of you, Jimmy. Happy birthday tomorrow, Eric. Well, thank you, Miss Nancy. Love watching you and Tiffany on Saturdays. Well, you can watch us again tomorrow at 5 p.m. right here on Treasure Heart Creations. And again, for those of you that are interested, we are doing a Zoom call tomorrow starting at 12. It's a bonus one, so if you're interested in joining, send me an email at treasureheartcreations@gmail.com. And if you have been joining the regular monthly Zoom calls, well, this is a different meeting info and password. So you may have already gotten the invitation. So just check your email for that. And we'll see you on Zoom. Okay, now the direction said to press the seams open, so that's what I'm doing. I'm assuming that we are pressing them open because, well, this is one of those quilts where if you try to press your seams to one side and try to nest the seams, it's not going to be pretty. Gosh, you know, this is a log cabin, but it takes an incredible amount of time to make one small little log cabin. Well, of course, it would go by faster if I cut my pieces, all of the pieces all at once, and then just sew everything at once. But no, I like to cut, sew, because it's the sewing part that I enjoy. The cutting part is not so enjoyable. Although it is a very important step, because you can't get to the sewing if you don't do the cutting. So there's a catch-22 there. And why am I talking like this? I don't know. It's late. Well, actually, it's not late. It's only 9 o'clock here. But past my usual bedtime. But it's Friday. It's Friday. Oh, I know what I can say, or I have a bit of sad news. So for those of you that have been following this channel for a while, you know that my brothers coach a little league team, and in 2018 and in 2022, was it 22 or 23, their little league baseball team went all the way and won the Little League World Series, and they were hoping to make it a third title, but unfortunately they were eliminated from the tournament because they lost to two very strong teams, actually. And so, yeah, they, for 2025, no Little League title. But you know, my brothers are not disappointed. I mean, they're happy for the opportunity for the kids, you know, to experience something like that. Because think about it. I mean, there's a million Little League athletes around the world, and 90% of them will never get the opportunity to be at the Little League World Series. So for them to make it that far says something. Of course, they're sad, and the state of Hawaii is also very sad, but you know what? We're still proud of what they accomplished. So at least they made it that far. But if I know my brothers, they're not going to go so quietly. So the next time they make it, they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. Yeah. I know my brother was tired. Because coaching a baseball team at that level, it does take a lot out of you. Yeah, Flicky Chick says, I'll be up all night between extreme insomnia and pain flares from being up since yesterday at 4 a.m. Oh, Flicky Chick, I hope you get some rest. And I hope the pain at least subsides at some point. Suzanne Taylor says, I'm watching the series and was sad when they lost. I know, Suzanne. I know the feeling. But you know what? I think there's still a team. Oh, no, wait. Maybe did they get eliminated too? Oh, wow. I lost track of who. There was, I didn't know this, but there was actually a Little League team from here locally in Las Vegas. And they actually did very well, too. I know they were playing today. I don't know if they won their game. But if they were to win today, then they reach the final game or tomorrow's championship. So I have to look and see. And if they in fact did win, then you know what? I'm going to watch the game tomorrow. Because, hey, they're from Vegas too, so we got to represent. And for those of you who don't know, you might have heard, well, there's a special nickname that Hawaiians give to the city of Las Vegas. We call it the Ninth Island. Why? Because there's actually more Hawaiians that live in Las Vegas than the entire state of Hawaii. Why is that? Well, part of it is just the fact that you just get priced out of paradise. So people who grew up there, you know, they can't afford to live there because of the cost of living there is just skyrocketing, and they get priced out. So they can't afford a home. They can't afford rent. Good luck trying to find a decent paying job. And so they have to move. And one of the hot spots that they come to is right here in Las Vegas. So we, us Hawaiians, or people that have lived and grew up, born and raised in Hawaii, we kind of nicknamed the city of Las Vegas the Ninth Island. So that's that. Suzanne Taylor says, they are a good team, for sure. Your brothers should be proud. Oh, they are very proud. Yes, they are very proud. Of course, they're just a little sad that they never got to play in the big game. But you know what? They made it that far. That's all they can be thankful for. And hopefully, you know, I don't want to call them kids. The young athletes had a good time there. And it's I mean, for everyone involved, it's such a great experience, not just for the athletes, but for the parents as well, because it is a lot of fun to watch those games. But let me tell you, it's a lot of stress too. And I can only imagine what the parents, how they feel about it, because it's nerve-wracking to just watch those games. When I went in 2022 or 2023, I mean, I was so nervous just watching the game that I literally had to go to the pharmacy store to buy some adult diapers because I was peeing my pants the whole time. But again, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's so exciting. And whether or not your team wins or loses, you know, the excitement of just watching the game. It's, for me, I mean, I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I like watching Little League games like that because it's just exciting. You know, you get caught up in the atmosphere of it all and the excitement of it all. Okay, those two are done. What was the last one that I needed to do? Ten, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I got my purple and black. That's these 6. Got the 2. That's this one that I just did. And the yellow. Now this green, lime green and yellow with the gray. Okay. So lime green with the yellow. Where was that yellow piece? Well, here's a gray. I think I can use that. Not using that. I can definitely use this. So let's see, how does this one look? Yellow, then the green, then the gray, and then the green again. Okay, so I'm just using those. Janice Miller says, I still have family there. Love the city. I'm no longer in the state. And Remo J says her sons played in leagues, baseball and football. Sports for young kids is off the chain, not only for them, but also for the family and friends. Yes, that is so true, Janice. That is so true. I will say, though, and it's sad to see this, happening, but, you know, some parents get too involved in it, and I've seen some arguments happening between parents, and it's sad that that has to happen. I know my brothers have had to deal with parents that are too, like, how do you say? They heckle, in a way. And it's sad because they put, I mean, you got to remember these are young kids. They're impressionable. So, you know, you say something bad. I mean, it's one thing to say or heckle with a baseball player or professional athlete when they're a lot older. But at that age, and you're going to be heckling with them saying, you suck, get off the team, you don't belong on there, you know, that's just bad. Or as my brothers would say, that's just no class. And I would have to agree with them on that. And, you know, Little League tries to discourage that. In fact, from what I've heard, if one of your parents, or if a parent of the team that is playing, if they are heckling or if they're found heckling, you know, when I say heckling, you know, making fun of one of the opposing team's players, the team will get disqualified and they will forfeit the game. Now, my brother, I've seen him actually have to deal with that, and he's gone right up to the parent and said, hey, that's not cool. And fortunately, the parent listened. But the fact that people just do that in the first place, you know, that's kind of sad. Basketball, very expensive. Oldest son quit because they lost in the championship by 1 point. Wow, that is horrible. When he went to college, coach saw him playing and asked him to play for a scholarship, and he said no. Wow, that bad. Okay, I can put that there. Just tuned in. I've been sewing my double dozens quilt top on point. Have a few more seams, then it's time for borders. Yay! Well, welcome, Elizabeth. Wait, what did I just do with that piece? I can use it. You're supposed to be able to just tap it and then cut. That doesn't seem to work. That's just not working for me. I still have yet to figure out how to actually do that. Okie dokie. There's one that I need. I thought I had another piece. Maybe not. Okay, I'll just cut one from here. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. Okay, got those two. And then I can cut this one down. I'll need to trim that down. Okay, let's straighten out this edge. Ooh, I'm gonna make it. Just made it. I think. Yep. Haha. I won fabric chicken. If that's a thing. Okay, kids should be allowed to be kids. Parents should be showing by example. Exactly, Debbie. Exactly. Remo J says, we've had to have police escorts parents out. My son's peace of mind, I agreed. He had an academic scholarship. Okay. Yeah, that's just disappointing. That's sad. So Elizabeth Collins says, good evening to Kim Burris. What does the crown in number 1 mean? Actually, I don't know. That just started showing up. I'm not sure what that actually means. Sorry. I also understand Mr. Oda's having a birthday. Happy birthday, Eric. Well, thank you, Elizabeth. Just about 3.5 more hours. Then I officially turn old. No, I'll be 49. Although my body says you're 82. Okay, so this one is okay, and then okay, I got to get used to how to open that. Otherwise, I like it. No, you know what? I'm going to throw this back in the scrap pile. Throw that back in the scraps. Okay. let's get to the sewing. Hi, Pat. It's been a while. Yes, I know. But I'm here. And so are you now. Okay, my body says I'm 82, which I am actually, but my mind sometimes disagrees with my body. uh, I definitely know that feeling there, Jimmy. Okay, 9:30. Okay, we'll get these 2 blocks done, and then how many more do I have? Yeah. Okay, we'll get these 2 blocks done, then I am going to bed because I can I can already kind of feel myself drifting, so. Ooh, the vision is getting blurry. Old age, I say. Debbie Huey says 49 and holding, right? Barely. Uh, Pat Boo says, oops, I've been lurking. Eric, looks like you need a new rotary cutter. Well, this is actually new. I've had it for a while. I just never actually opened it and used it. I found it, and I said, you know what? Let's just try it. I mean, it is the Quilter Select rotary cutter. It's a weighted rotary cutter. Thus far, it feels good. I just have to get used to how to open and close the blade. But thus far, I kind of like it. So it might be my new go-to when I'm sitting here sewing and cutting. Now, if I'm gonna cut fabric yardage and or have to cut a lot of yardage, I might stick with the Martelli for that because, my hand just gets, any kind of stick rotary cutter like this, my hand just gets tired after a while. But for this is good because, I'm not cutting a whole ton. I'm just kind of cutting and trimming, which is fine. But if I'm cutting fabric all day, yeah, I'm gonna want the Martelli. Hello, Damali J. Oh, Linda. She says, I missed the notification. Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, but even on my own phone, like normally I can hear the notification go off on my cell phone when I go on live, but sometimes it just doesn't do that. Okay, so, and you can always catch the replay, but I know the replay isn't exactly the same as watching it live. Yeah, I know that. So, who was I watching? Was it, I forget who, no, it was, I figured I catch up with Miss T of T Quilts, and I was watching one of her live replays. Just not exactly the same feeling as watching her live, though. Good night, Nancy. Yeah, I'm gonna head off of here because my eyes are starting to see triple vision right now too. So after these 2 blocks, I'll press it, and then tomorrow morning before the live session, I will hopefully be done with these blocks, and then I'll have a ton of half square triangles to make. And that's what I'll be doing live along with Tiffany. So again, tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, myself and Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life will be on a YouTube live session, and we'll be continuing our butterfly quilt pattern that we've been working on. She's been doing hers, I've been doing mine. She's way ahead of me, so that's why I need to catch up to her. So that's tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So right here on this Treasure Heart Creations YouTube channel, you can catch, or you can see how far down I get. Okay. Also, again, as a reminder, there is a Zoom call that I am hosting tomorrow, starting at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you've joined in on the monthly Zoom calls, just know that it is a totally different meeting ID and password, so check your email for that. And if you want to join in on tomorrow's call, send me an email at treasureheartcreations@gmail.com, and we will send you that information. So again, that's tomorrow, Saturday the 23rd, starting at 12 Pacific Standard Time. And on these Zoom calls, there's no agenda, there's nothing. It's just a bunch of us that like to go on Zoom and start chatting with each other and sew along with each other. Now, we're not working on anything special. We're just all sewing our own projects. But from time to time, you might need some advice or some suggestions for people. So that's what we do. We just sew. We're all working on separate projects. And we're over here chatting. And Pat Boo says her hands are toast. She loves the Martelli rotary cutter for the same reason. Yeah. I will say the Martelli cutter, once you get, it does, for me, it didn't take as long as some other people, but it was a little weird when I first used it because the shape of it is so awkward. When you look at it, a lot of people don't realize that the backside where your fingers are, it's covered in plastic. And so when you hold it like this, there's a tendency to think that you're going to slice your finger, but there's actually a plastic guard right there. And when you hold the rotary cutter, your fingers are not even close to where the blade is. It just appears that way. But for me, this was a comfortable grip because even like you notice whenever I hold just a regular rotary cutter or the stick rotary cutters like this, I have my finger out in front. So having the handle and this design like this kind of just naturally, it was kind of just natural for me. But it just mentally, I just had a block on using this because I always thought that the blade was going to slice my finger, but no. Oh, sorry about that. So, but you know, I had this Quilter Select. I mean, I bought it a couple of months ago and I never gave it a try, and I found it right before I turned on the cameras and I said, you know what, let's give this rotary cutter a try. And thus far, I kind of like it. Okay, press. Okay, then we'll trim this up to 4.5. Whoops, did I just say the size? Well, it's one block out of however many. Whoops, I saw the ruler shift on that one. That's okay. Okay, I like the fact that this is metal and not some cheap plastic handle. So it just feels durable. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, a lot of trash. I gotta empty that. Okay, so that's the last 2 blocks. And I'm gonna call it a live. So what's the, I don't know, what's the verdict on this Quilter Select rotary cutter? For me, the jury's still kind of out. I mean, I do like it. My first impression is that I like it. I like the weight of it. I like the feel of it. And I like the fact that it's metal, not some cheap plastic that a lot of other rotary cutters are made from. I still have to get the hang of opening the blade and closing the blade, which I don't know the trick to that. So, but I do know you're supposed to tap it and then that'll expose the blade, but it hasn't been as good. And then to tap it again, it's supposed to close the blade. Well, yeah, still kind of have to get used to that part of it, but otherwise, I don't know. I kind of like it, but jury's still out. If I don't resolve how to open the blade, this thing about opening the blade and then closing the blade, yeah, I don't know. There's got to be a better way of doing it. But other than that, got no complaints about it. Let's see. Had a very busy day finishing my bucket hats and just waking and got you just in time. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by, Damali. Hi, Gayla. We're about to close here, but glad you at least made it or caught the tail end of it. Suzanne Taylor says, never got that cutter to work and it was a waste of money. It is quite expensive, I will say that. A lot more Well, I caught it on sale from one of the vendors at a quilt show that I was at, and it was close to $60, believe it or not. Is it worth it? Well, the fact that it's not plastic and that it is hard metal, yeah, I would say it's worth it. Again, just the mechanism to open and close the blade is something that I need to get used to or haven't mastered yet. So, yeah. Good night, Susan. So we're about ready to wrap it up unless there's any last minute questions. Again, so what's going on this weekend is tomorrow we have a special Zoom happening starting 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll go to about 3 or so. Then following that, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the Treasure Heart Creations channel, myself and Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life will be continuing on with our butterfly quilts. That's what I was kind of doing tonight. I was kind of playing catch up because Tiffany's way ahead of me, as expected. But, you know, we kind of go at our own pace and we just come on live and work on the quilt and start chatting with everybody, with all of you, whoever's here. So I got a few more log cabin blocks to do, but I'm tired and I need to call it a night. So I will start tomorrow, and probably on the Zoom session, I will be sewing some more blocks because I want to get to the half square triangle section, which is going to be a lot. So I need to get started with that. But yeah. So that's all the happenings going on this week for this YouTube channel, and I will be doing some other things outside of YouTube. So yeah. All right, guys. Happy birthday, Eric. Well, thank you, Pat. Yes, tomorrow actually is my birthday, so I will be celebrating after all of everything else is done. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me here so late for some of you. Who knows? Maybe this will become a regular thing, but don't quote me on that because, of course, with my luck, something's going to happen. So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining me here so late tonight. We shall see you sometime either tomorrow or maybe sometime during the rest of this weekend. Who knows? Okay. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. Sleep tight. And we will see you when we see you. Okay. Until then, let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah! Bye for now.